Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here, and tonight we are looking at The Undertaker and His Pals, one of several ultra low budget films that came out in the wake of Herschell Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast, which we looked at a couple weeks ago. And this one has the added distinction of having been banned in many territories due to the addition of actual surgery footage that they put in to up the gore factor. But when it finally did get a wide release, it was brought up by Ted V. Mickles, who put it together as a triple play with The Corpse Grinders and another 60s film called The Embalmer. And in that he cut out the nudity they had put in and all but like one shot of the surgery footage, and also another thing in which a person in drag is killed. Apparently didn't think that would work, or I don't know why, and that's why it comes down to just over an hour. It was originally an hour and 20, and they chopped a great deal out. Unlike Blood Feast, which is unintentionally funny, this film is intentionally funny. And it's not that funny because of it. A few jokes may work, but a lot of it is just kind of really lame slapstick, like this.
Do you have a box?
Yeah, sure.
All these problems are getting me down.
Yeah. Oh, the person that threw the pie, that is Robert Lowry, a fairly popular actor back in the 40s, mostly in B movies. He was in the Charlie Chan film Murder Over New York. He was the star of two Universal horror films, The Mummy's Ghost and House of Horror. But for many, he is known for his serials. He starred in three. There was Mystery of the Riverboat, The Monster and the Ape, but most importantly, he became the second actor after Lewis Wilson to play the Dark Knight detective in the 1949 serial Batman and Robin. And that's probably what he's best remembered today, especially among serial fans. Anyway, to open the film, we have three motorcyclists, and they stop at a phone booth to look up an address. The address they look up happens to belong to a young woman who is relaxing at home when suddenly they appear in her apartment.
All these problems are getting me down.
Like that little bit of comedy where the picture of the boyfriend suddenly became a shot of this. Then the three men removed the woman's legs, and the next morning at the mortuary run by Mr. Mort, we meet the girl's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Lamb. Whereupon, after they view the body, he hands father the bill, and we get this little exchange.
$1,250. Well, it's not our best funeral, but
$1,250.
See, you've forgotten your griefer already.
You advertised $144.98, not $1,250.
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders.
Bit of a shyster there. You know, all those extras that he adds on, you know, working on the body, the coffin, the burial plot, people to take the coffin to the cemetery, you know, all that stuff. Next, we are introduced to Playboy lawyer Harry Glass and his secretary, Miss Poultry, who really wants to marry Harry. But, Harry? Yeah, Harry. But he's one to play the field. He doesn't like to settle down. And he decides to take her to dinner at the nearby Greasy Spoon. And guess what they've got for today's special?
What's Duncan Hines recommend in this food palace?
Specialty of the day.
What a coincidence. Leg of lamb. Well, the counterman's Spike, and the cook is named Doc because he wanted to be a doctor, a surgeon specifically. Anyway, they order the special, but Harry's a little too suspicious of what they're selling.
Hey, Spike, what is this? Lamb. That's not lamb.
So neither one eats it, and they leave. That night, while Miss Poultry is out looking for her cat, after the obligatory scenes of her changing her clothes, the three motorcyclists show up. Thankfully, off screen, they remove her, let's say, lady parts. But they didn't escape without a trace.
Harry?
Yeah. One of them was probably wearing this.
Well, that doesn't give you much to go on.
Makes the fifth murder we've had with these vicious mutilations of the body.
Maybe they could track down who the men are from that patch.
Perhaps.
Actually, it never enters into the plot. Or if it did, that was some of the footage cut out. But hey, guess who shows up to handle the arrangements of Ms. Poultry?
Sign here.
How much?
$144.98.
98 cents?
Well, this is a very competitive business.
Ah, but old Mort, he didn't count on the fact that Larry is a lawyer.
There's no price on these contracts.
Well, we do that. You know, sometimes there are a few extras. They don't amount to much.
Well, I'll just fill in. 144.98.
All these problems are getting me down.
Don't mess with the lawyer. And then, just to add insult to injury,
All these problems are getting me down.
oh yeah, laughing yet? Me neither. Say, I wonder what the guys at the diner are cooking this week, or today. Breast of chicken, huh? Well, anyway, they get a delivery, and just vegetables and stuff like that. Never any meat from the supplier. And he just can't help but start looking around out of curiosity. Well, Doc makes short work of him. And about that time, a customer comes in, Robert Lowry, from who I talked about earlier, and we get a little word play, and then the pie. Next, we cut to the funeral, where we see what $148.99 buys you. Oh, Mr. Mort thinks he's clever. Harry has a non-legal way of dealing with this.
Hi, keeper.
All these clowns are getting me down.
Serves him right. Anyway, Harry next is introduced to a new prospective secretary, Ms. Friday. And she's really into him. But he's got a lot of work to do, so he sends her over to the diner to get some food. And she asks for a hamburger. And when they say they're out, she makes the mistake of saying, "That's too bad. She's so hungry that her stomach hurts."
Nurse! Hey, what is this?
Didn't you say you have a pain?
In her belly.
Well, yes, but that's...
After chloroforming her, they take her into the back where Doc prepares to operate. After they have some slapstick of dealing with a fly. You know, gotta keep things sanitary and germless in an operating theater.
Check a respiration.
Hey, okay.
This is where we get the maybe 40-second shot of the actual operation happening after he's cut her open. And then something even worse happens. Luckily, she soon passes away from what they're doing. Well, now they've got another body. What to do?
All these clowns are getting me down.
Well, I gotta give him some credit, I guess. Anyways, soon after, the Undertaker shows up, and he's rather upset with them. There's two bodies that now they're getting money from with food, but he's not getting his end where he handles the funeral arrangements for him. Well, they feel bad about this. I mean, after all, everybody's got bills to pay, so they all put on their motorcycle togs and head out to a spa. Unfortunately for them, they're spotted leaving with their shopping. And one of the people that works there, she's not about to just let them go. I wonder, do you think the out of sync sound was on purpose?
Could be.
Anyway, with the missing license plate, now things are bad. It came off of Mort's bike. So, Spike's all for throwing Mort into the acid to get rid of him, since that could lead back to them. And then inexplicably, Mort and Doc decide maybe they should throw Spike in instead.
God! There's gonna be the end of our friendship! Don't do it!
It'll be painless if we dunk you fast.
No! No, don't do it!
Then we'll dunk you slow.
Well, after he screams interminably as they lower him down, we cut to the police lieutenant, who calls Harry. Says they found a license plate at the last scene of the crime. It leads back to Mort. Does Harry know anyone that Mort hangs out with? He says he'll have to think about it and get back to him. He then calls a stoolie he knows, who tells him he hangs out with Spike and Doc. So, Harry rushes over there, only they've already flown the coop, and after discovering Spike's remains in the acid bath, he gets an unexpected surprise.
Friday. You take long lunch hours.
I'm not Friday, Mr. Glass.
Well, who are you then? Queen of Sheba?
I'm Thursday. Friday's my sister.
Yeah, it seems it's been so long since she's heard from her. Friday's always been close to her sister and calls her every day. She's come down to see what's going on, and since she knew she was going to go work for Harry, she's been following Harry around to see if it'll lead her to Friday. Of course, she doesn't have a place to stay, so Harry, being the gallant person he is, takes her back to his place, where things don't quite go the way most swinging bachelors plan.
Harry. You sleeping? Hey, Harry, wake up. Harry?
Happens to the best of us, Harry. Anyway, they had, before going to his place, they had called the lieutenant to let him know what they found. And so, of course, there's an APB out now on, well, basically all three of them. They don't know the remains, that is. But Doc and Mort have been following Harry. And when he leaves the next morning with Thursday, they follow him again. And Larry runs out of gas. But it's not a come on. He actually did. And so he flags someone down to get him to a gas station. And this is when Doc and Mort decide to strike it Thursday, and we get a chase. Things look dire for Thursday. That is until Harry returns with a gas station truck. Well, that puts Doc out of the running. But Mort decides he's going to get some revenge on Harry, which Harry learns later at his office.
Mort's gonna get his. I'll see.
I'm a little trouble with the logistics there. That must have been the waiting area where clients wait, and the secretary sends them in. But I'm sure Harry was only injured.
Perhaps.
No, he actually is dead. Guess they couldn't afford another day with the actor. Anyway, we now get a rather bizarre chase up the stairs. I guess they were trying for humor and suspense, but you be the judge.
All these problems are getting me down.
I don't know. Anyway, Mort corners her on the edge and decides he's going to get rid of her, and nothing's going to stop him. And so, as we come to the credits, oh, he's not dead. Mort follows her back down to Harry's office, where the lieutenant is there. So Mort hides. He's got a knife, and he's going to take them both out.
Finally over.
I hope so. We don't need any unnecessary violence in this world. Nature makes enough of its own. Still, a certain amount of evil always creeps in. And we must just strike it down.
All these problems are getting me down.
And that is the end.
Perhaps.
Well, movie-wise. We then get a montage over a rollicking rock tune showing all the past victims are all okay, smiling at the camera. You know, one woman comes out of the casket, another one comes out of the crate. The actress who played Friday sitting there eating a hamburger. And Spike pops up out of the acid bath to let you know everything's fine, and so on. And although we do get a scene of Thursday and the lieutenant getting a little smoochy. So at least she got to end up with somebody. Yeah, unlike Blood Feast, this isn't really very good. The humor's kind of juvenile. Not a lot of suspense. The acting is forget about it. Well, except for Lowry, because he could act. But all their attempts at acting weird and stuff, like guys who play Spike and Doc, really doesn't put any menace in their characters. And The Undertaker is more annoying than anything. Not to say this film doesn't have its fans. Anyone who's watched Cinema Insomnia knows that Mr. Lobo likes this film because he's shown it. And, of course, he tends to like all his films, no matter what he says. I know he likes his films because, you know, they're just misunderstood. They're not bad. Anyways, I mean, there's not really a lot to recommend it. There's some amateurish gore. And being only a little over an hour, you know, it doesn't take much out. But I think only Coleman Francis ever made films more uninteresting than this. Yeah, bit of a disappointment, even for gorehounds, unless they want to see a 30-second shot of someone moving a liver around, I think, and an open incision. But yeah, there's really not much to this film. Bit better than The Naked Witch, which was the first film I reviewed, but not much of a comparison. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And next week we will have a bit of a better one, I think. Oh, please stay after credits for my favorite scene.
Give me the chicken.
How would you like that order? Light meat or dark?